What's going on, Guardians? It's Thistle here, and in this video we are going over the god rolls for everything from like Gambit, Crucible, Strikes, and Crucible including Comp, Trials, and Iron Banner. So let's jump right into it. There is one new Gambit weapon. Last season we got Bygones, which everyone was really excited about, especially because it could roll with High Ground, and it was a menace in PvP. This time, PvP players aren't really gonna care because it is a rapid fire glaive. These are the quickest shooting, so the projectile deals the lowest amount of damage, but it fires the quickest. And yeah, this basically rolls its arc, and it rolls with basically every perk under the sun that you might want on an arc glaive, including jolting feedback. I have the Trials one with Impulse Amplifier Volt Shot, and it is quite good, but I think jolting feedback would be even better on a glaive, especially with something like Replenishing Aegis. You can block and basically just keep shooting and applying jolt over and over. I'm guessing this is only going to take like 2 or 3 shots to proc, so we don't know this yet, but yeah, jolting feedback to me is the perk to go for because it's doing something that literally no other glaive in the game can do. But if you do want ones that others can do, Grave Robber Swashbuckler is really good on the one from Vow the Disciple, so no reason to think it wouldn't be great on this one. Surrounded is pretty nice on glaives. None of these buff the melee damage, by the way. They only buff the projectile damage. The only one that buffs melee damage is Close to Melee, which is also a really good perk. And I believe this is the first rapid fire one to get it. Maybe the one from Salvation's Edge also does. But typically it was always on aggressive glaives, so nice that it's on a rapid fire glaive. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of hover over the perks and you can pause and read them all for yourself. Like I said, this has basically everything. You also have melee momentum, which is new. Melee final blows with this weapon grant it bonus energy and provide increased movement speed while blocking, so you can actually get energy for your glaive shield from melees, which is new. Wellspring, I don't know if it would be great, but it will give you ability energy if you wanted more of like a utility glaive. But to me, the ultimate utility is jolting feedback. Jolting feedback is one of the strongest perks in the game, so that's what I would be chasing. And obviously there's a massive perk pool, so may RNGesus bless you. Next, we have Cynosure. This is these weird ones. Sorry, I didn't also talk about, but it's got the origin trait Gun and Run from Gambit. Rapidly defeating targets with this weapon grants bonus sprint speed, so nothing too crazy. Cynosure, though, has Suro Synergy. Reloading grants this weapon bonus handling and reduces incoming flinch. So yeah, these are the weird like Suros rocket frames, but it isn't adaptive, so it's the hardest hitting one. But I would rather just go with Vanguard's Vindication. Final blows with this weapon grant a small amount of health. This has Envious Arsenal and Explosive Light. Envious Arsenal Bipod. Overflow with Bipod, so you could get like 4 or maybe 5 in the magazine. Quite a bit. Another one that I had to laugh at, Sympathetic Arsenal. This rolled on the one from Crucible because I have kept this roll around for a long time just because I thought this perk was never coming back, so it was kind of like a trophy item. But yeah, this perk is basically useless. Reloading after a final blow also reloads stowed weapons. I just thought it was funny that they brought it back. You've got Field Prep, which is always really good on rocket launchers. Reconstruction Bipod, which I love on Apex Predator, and it rolls on this, so that's very strong. Elemental Honing, so this could be amazing with Envious Arsenal if you get this combo, and if you build into that right, I think that will deal more damage than Bait and Switch. So, and it should deal it on the first shot, where Bait and Switch, that first rocket isn't being buffed because you need to land that damage to proc Bait and Switch. So Elemental Honing could be like the best damage perk on a rocket in the game. So this thing does have some really, really strong rolls, but again, there is just so many rolls that it's like good luck getting the one you want. But it basically has something for every situation. It's strand, so it even has slice. Like this thing, yeah. Tons of perks. Some are great, some are trash. But if you get the right combination, it's going to be good. So yeah, for me, Envious Arsenal, Elemental Honing is kind of what you want here. Because as far as I know, that doesn't roll on anything. Maybe Hezen Vengeance, I can't remember. But Hezen definitely has Envy as bait and switch, which is what most people are going for. But yeah, Elemental Honing on this thing could be really, really strong. Joxer's Longsword. This thing is a beast. It is a heavy burst. Pulse rifle, void. I love these heavy bursts. I have the strand one from, I'm looking it up right now, Aisha's Care from Trials. I have 2,500 kills on mine. They feel amazing. The one from Salvation's Edge, the solar one, also an exceptionally good pulse rifle. These two bursts are awesome. You know me, I love Revision 0 as well. So these are like a poor man's version of Revision 0. This one, though, has Withering Gaze. Aiming this weapon for a short period of time without firing grants the ability to weaken the next target. So you can apply Weaken with a primary, and on a pulse like this, it's already really strong, and you can weaken from a distance. So this will be insanely good in Grandmaster Nightfalls. I want one with Withering Gaze so bad, I'll probably have to be playing some Crucible this season just to get one. And then you have Repulsor Brace. Defeating a Void debuff target grants an Overshield. So yeah, you could get Void Overshield super easily if you have Withering Gaze. You also have Destabilizing Rounds. You have Demolitionist. So that's really, really good. You've got Strategist if you wanted to build into your class ability. You have Shoot to Loot. Shoot to Loot Withering Gaze could be the best utility weapon in the game. You can apply Weaken and you can use Shoot to Loot all from a distance on a very powerful archetype of weapon. To me, that's like the god roll. But yeah, you can just see from the perks, there's so many. But yeah, I'm probably going Shoot to Loot or Repulsor Brace or Demolitionist with Withering Gaze or Destabilizing Rounds. But obviously, One for All is also very, very strong, especially on these heavy burst pulses. You've got Dragonfly destabilizing. What else? And then, yeah, One for All, Swashbuckler. So just some really amazing perks. For PvP, maybe like Lone Wolf and Zen Moment. I know these did get a buff in PvP, but yeah, this thing is a PvE all-star. I want one so bad. So for me, probably the weapon of the season, in all honesty. And there's another one from Trials coming up that's also really, really good. But before we get to that, we will do the comp one, which is Redrix's Estoc or Estoc. This is like the Battler frame, the BXR Battler. So I was rocking that thing with Perpetual Motion Kill Clip, not even enhanced. This was before I could craft it. And the thing is a laser beam, and it hits so hard. So if you get that roll, I know it's excellent. I've played with it. Zen Moment Kill Clip would also be really good. So many people love Lone Wolf, so Lone Wolf Kill Clip would be great. You could also get Rapid Hit to kind of level off that stability, make it even better. For PvE, you've got Demolitionist and Headstone, which is a really nice perk combination, or Sword Logic. Rhyme Stealer too, but I think Rhyme Stealer is kind of overrated. I also didn't mention, but like Encore Desperado could be great for chaining kills. Desperate Measures is decent. Headseeker, like this thing is just full of good weapon perks. And then it has no origin trait. It's got stocks instead, which is very unique and quite cool. So then we have Exalted Truth. So this thing is, again, a primary that can roll Withering Gaze. This time it's in the left column. So I think there's only 3 primaries that can roll Withering Gaze. There's Joxer's Longsword, Exalted Truth, and there's a Scout Rifle that's a world drop. It's a Hawk A 150 Scout. So for me, I way prefer a Pulse Rifle or a Hand Cannon. So I would love to get these with Withering Gaze. Again, you've got that Wombo with Withering Gaze and Repulsor Brace. Very, very strong. Demoralize. This is crazy. You can weaken the first target, and then if you get a headshot kill with it, you'll proc Demoralize, and then you'll weaken everything else. Do you know how strong that is? Withering Gaze, Demoralize, this is just such an insanely good combination. And I've always liked Exalted Truth. I've kept mine around for years. I don't even remember the role, but I just like the feel of the weapon. It just feels nice. You've got Zen Moment Precision Instrument for the PvPers. Zen Moment Eye of the Storm is also really good. Sorry, I'm just going to look up my Exalted Truth. Damn it. I did finally get rid of it in my latest. I think because I saw it was coming back. So in my latest Vault Purge, I did get rid of it. But like I said, I did always like that hand cannon. It feels great. Moving Target Eye of the Storm. Keep Away Eye of the Storm. Keep Away Precision Instrument. People love. Slide Shot. People like. So yeah, this thing is just full of juiced rolls. Even as Magnificent Howl, One for All. You basically can't get a bad perk on this. I think Opening Shot would probably be the worst. And even so, Opening Shot's nice for PvP. But I think Eye of the Storm's better personally. People love Lone Wolf. Like, this thing is absolutely juiced. So definitely worth getting. But if you could get Withering Gaze, Demoralize, you are very, very lucky. That's the role I'd be going for. Keen Thistle, on the other hand, here's the perks. Snapshot, Opening Shot, Lone Wolf, Opening Shot. Those are extremely nasty for PvP, especially on an aggressive frame, because they deal the most damage even on a body shot. You've got Envious Arsenal, Bait and Switch, but being an aggressive frame, these only have 3 in the magazine. So yeah, you could like swap back and forth like that. You've got Triple Tap 4th time to basically shoot forever. Triple Tap Vorpal. The thing with Solar Snipers is we have so many of them now. You got Ikelos Sniper Rifle, you got Uzume, you got... God, what's the one? I had it up here, and then I searched for my Exalted Truth. Last Foray. It's just a random world drop, but it rolls Envious Assassin Frenzy, Lunar Regolith, Far Future. There's just so many. And then recently, we got the one from Omniscient Eye, Distant Tumulus. There are so many Solar Snipers. So if you still don't have one, sure, go for it. Snapshot Moving Target is also nice for PvP. But yeah, I'm not even really going to talk about the PvE roles because there's just so many. If you still need one, go out and get one, I guess. Or maybe you like only play trials, so you don't have any of those PvE ones that I mentioned, because I guess they are all from PvE. But yeah, it does have Discord, which is unique for... I mean, other sniper rifles have it, but I don't know if the solar ones do. But most people aren't really using a sniper rifle for ad clear anyways. But yeah, it's decent, but there's just too many good solar sniper rifles in the game right now anyways. But Envious Arsenal, it could be part of like a Hezen Vengeance swap damage rotation, I guess, potentially. But yeah, I'm not jumping into trials to get one, put it that way. On to Iron Banner. Will I play Iron Banner for some weapons? Well, this is an arc trace rifle with jolting feedback. Fun fact, we've never had a trace rifle artifact perk. They did recently buff trace rifles in Heresy, and now they're giving us one with jolting feedback and some other really good perks. So maybe in Frontiers, we're finally going to see trace rifles getting some play on the artifact, but that's just speculation. This one has some really nice rolls. Rewind round target lock. Rewind rounds, sorry, target lock. That could be very good. Rewind rounds 4 times the charm if you just want to shoot forever. Rewind rounds jolting feedback, so you can just keep applying jolt. Jolting feedback to me is the clear winner. I've talked about it in other videos, and this one, it's basically the best primary perk. I mean, this is a special, but you know what I mean. One of the best weapon perks in the game, just bar none. It's excellent. Envious Assassin jolting feedback. But yeah, basically I'm going for jolting feedback unless this new perk, Detonator Beam, dealing sustained damage creates an explosion around the target. Maybe that's a crazy explosion. Maybe it causes blind. Who knows? Maybe that's really strong. Either way, probably worth getting these, because when Bungie introduces like new perks, they usually land pretty hot. So yeah, this one is actually looking quite good. I do definitely want one with jolting feedback. Then we have Peacebond. I'm not so crazy about this, but it does have Headstone Rhyme Stealer, that kind of new Stasis Wombo combo. Subsistence Frenzy is really nice. Moving Target Kill Clip or Zen Moment Kill Clip. Zen Kill Clip on these, this is an adaptive burst. They're the 3-round, like the Last Dance, which was like the meta in D2 vanilla, like very early year 1. Last Dance was super nasty. I loved using it on controller. It felt great. These things feel awesome on controller. But yeah, Rangefinder got kind of nerfed, but I think, yeah, Zen Moment Kill Clip probably for PvP, and then Subsistence Frenzy for me, or Headstone Frenzy. Headstone Frenzy is actually a really nice combination for PvE. Then we've got the Palindrome. So Exalted Truth got all these insane rolls, and you have to go to trials to get it, unfortunately, where Palindrome got switched from Void to Arc, and I don't want to say it's dead on arrival, but honestly, it used to be better. This one, I'm not lying about. I know I still have my Subsistence One for All Palindrome, and to me, that's far better than any PvE roll we can get here. The one that kind of jumps out to me is Explosive Payload, because it is a pseudo damage perk with Master of Arms. So you can kind of pair 2 damage perks together, or Desperate Measures for that matter. But that's basically it. I guess Magnificent Howl is technically a damage perk too. So you could go with that. Recycled Energy and Rolling Storm. If you want, what these do is, I'll read them because they're new. Final Blows grant Bolt Charge, while amplified Final Blows grant additional Bolt Charge, and then Recycled Energy, reloading after defeating targets, grants energy to your lowest charged ability. So this would be a utility roll for ability-based builds, so you could use it there. But yeah, Explosive Payload and Desperate Measures or Master of Arms is really the only one I would want. And then for PvP, which is what a lot of people used to like to use Palindrome for, nothing really jumps out at me, to be honest with you. Maybe Closing Time? No, not really. Those are better on specials because you load in with 1. You're not going to bleed your magazine down just so you have some benefits in a gunfight. So maybe Elemental Capacitor? I don't know. I guess Explosive Payload would give Flinch, but then what, like Snapshot? I don't know. What they did with Palindrome is confusing to me, but yeah, it's a shame. The old ones are better, in my opinion. Now we have Lotus-Eater. This is a rocket-assisted sidearm that is Void. We've been waiting for a Void one, so I'm very happy it's here for like loadout flexibility. We got the Solar one, we got the Arc one, we got the Strand one, we got the Stasis one, so this rounds it out. So we've got Repulsor Destabilizing, great wombo combo. You've got Strategist if you wanted. Shoot to Loot I'm not crazy about on a special weapon, but these are almost like pseudo primaries. So if they were to be on anything, I don't mind it on this. I've even used it on the Defiance of Yasmin sniper rifle, so I guess it's not totally useless. Reconstruction would be interesting, and I really like Withering Gaze, as you could tell from this video. I just think being able to apply Weaken. So for me, what I've always disliked about the Arc subclass is there's no access to a buff or debuff. You don't have Radiant, you don't have Weaken. So this basically gives you a way to get Weaken on an Arc subclass. So if you were running Geomags, you just ADS, shoot, now it's weak, then you pop your Geomag, boom, you're doing 15% more damage for the duration of your super. That is why I like Withering Gaze so much, is the flexibility it gives on like non-prismatic subclasses. So yeah, for me, I'm going Withering Gaze all day, but you do you. One for All is good, Destabilizing Rounds is good. Really, all these are pretty good. It's pretty strong. And these rocket-assisted frames, yes, they had their reserves nerfed, and then in Heresy they had a damage nerf, but they're still great. They're great utility. Like I said, you can basically use them as a primary in the right situations, and this one has some pretty good rolls. So for me, I'd probably go Reconstruction Withering Gaze or Strategist Withering Gaze, but Repulsor Destabilizing could also be good. And Beacon Rounds Withering Gaze I would even take. Just something with Withering Gaze is what I really want. And then the last one is Resounding. I talked about it in my last video. So I'm just going to throw it up here, but that's a ritual that you get from Crucible, Vanguard, or Strikes, or Gambit, sorry. Gambit, Crucible, and Vanguard. So Subsistence, Reservoir Burst, Cornered Hatchling, you can pick and choose any of those perks. It's just the ritual weapon. So anyways, that is it for the video. I hope it was helpful and informative. If it was, a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, I'm actually excited about some of these weapons. They've got some really good rolls. And yeah, things that I would definitely use in my toolkits in the future. Because yeah, they just really open up your loadouts. And they're really good. So anyways, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.